is good, everyone? Michael Anson2 here, and we're back with another Gran Turismo 7 video for you. Today we're in the Manufacturers Cup, round 3 around Interlagos, 19 laps. It's going to be a very, very interesting race today. We're in the Aston Martin, the V12 Vantage GT3 car, and this car's not really meta. I wouldn't say it's definitely one of the strongest cars you could use, but it's by far not the worst either. When you get the car around the corner and you get the traction right, it's really satisfying, and the rotation into corners is actually quite nice. It loses a bit on the straights to some cars, but overall it's a decent car, and actually I found it quite nice to drive. As you see, we're just coming out from qualifying here. The Italian all over our back end. We open up the inside in case he wants to overtake us, but he doesn't take it, and we're just going to keep going on, trying to create a gap for ourselves so that we're not running into each other basically on this next lap, for this first qualifying lap at least. And as you can see, the BMW up ahead I feel like it's far enough away from me, and we lose it back end slightly, so it's not going to be great for our qualifying lap at all. But I feel like I've given myself enough space that I shouldn't catch up. Shouldn't being the key word, to catch up with the BMW in front of us. And the Italian, I think, is probably just within slipstream, so he might gain some benefits, but he shouldn't be catching us either, hopefully anyway. But anyway, that first corner, breaking at the 15-meter board and hitting that apex quite nicely. You want to take this next part of the center S, cut it as much as you can without actually cutting it, so you get a penalty. But as you can see, this BMW, an absolute boat in the corners, has not taken that center S very well at all. We've gained a lot. We're actually, when you come up to here, breaking up the tarmac on the right hand side, we're really closing up to the back of this German here. And I'm thinking at this point, right, I need to make a pass, and I think he also knows that, and he doesn't want me to, so he closes me off to the far right hand side, opens it up, and I late brake into the corner. And you really don't want to be having this on your qualifying lap. You really don't want to be having to overtake someone on your qualifying lap at all. So this first lap is still usable. It's definitely still a decent lap. I mean, it won't affect us too much. As we come up to the line here, we have set a 1:31.8. That's an alright time. It's I think I've gone slightly quicker than that before, and but for a first lap, considering we had to overtake a car, I feel like it's a decent lap that I'm happy with. And going on to this next lap here, as you can see in the bottom left, all the drivers that are coming through, no one is got too close to us. Obviously you've got the German there, no house, and 8 temps off, so that's decent. We've gone purple at the start of this in the first sector here, and hopefully this next lap here can be the one where we actually improve. So going around this first corner of the second sector basically, and braking, not really having a braking point there, and as you can see, I've gone way too deep, and the back end's stepping out like no tomorrow. That's the thing with this car, if you put the power down too much, the back end just wants to step out from you. But up to this next corner, you're braking as the curb on the right hand side just disappears, and it's a long corner, you go around it, and this part you just try and maintain as much throttle input as you can. So you see 3 temps up here, going into basically the final corner here, back end stepping out again, and that's kind of put us out of shape, and that's going to really hurt us all the way up to the line here. So we were about 3 temps up, so we were looking at a 31.5, I think. Maths are correct. Yeah, 31.5, basically dead for this lap. But as we come up to the line here, it's 31.7, so you can see just that back end getting a bit out of shape on the end of the lap there. Really hurt us for that lap. But as you can see, the Italian that was behind us is set a much quicker lap time than us. Well, not much, but 2 temps quicker. And there's also Alex P ahead of us, another 2 temps. And as you can see on this lap, we have had a pretty good first sector. We've gone 7 thousandths quicker than our personal best, and the back end steps out again. So lovely, just what you want to see, isn't it? So yeah, so still 31.7. We're going to get to the end of this lap. That we're still 2700ths off our time, so you don't quite hit the apex there, and the back end steps out again. That's kind of the theme of qualifying here. The back end stepping out a lot and trying to learn to tame the beast is what I would call this car. An absolute beast when you're trying to in the traction zones. So coming up to the line there, didn't quite manage to improve our time, and we're 2 tenths off of the Italian with Alex P in the RCZ, probably the strongest car in this category, in 2nd place. But as we progress over the qualifying period here, getting to the end of qualifying, no one's actually gone quicker than us, thankfully, but that's quite good for us when you look at it. A top 3 with this car, with the mistakes I have, it's okay, we'll take it. Could definitely have got pole if we got the lap together, but it seems I just couldn't tame the car. But anyway, we're going to get into the race mode here, and as you can see, I'm really strongly thinking of what sort of strategy I want to do, because there's 2 sort of strategies here. You either go with the hards and you don't make a stop, or you try and go with softs and you try and either don't make a stop but have really poor tyres, really worn tyres towards the end, or you go flat out. And as you can see, I went with the softs, and my thoughts were, I'm near the front. If people in front are going hard, I'm going to overtake them, and I just want to extend the gap and just try and build a gap, build a gap, build a gap. And then when I make a stop, if they made any mistakes, then I can actually capitalize on that. And yeah, hopefully the stop doesn't hurt us too much. But as you can see, Alex P there ahead of us, and I think, what's his name, Kevin, the Italian, in 1st. And we're going to get to the start of this race here. Oh, lights out, and away we go on the soft. So we're staying in fuel mix 1. We don't have to worry about fuel for this race. The main thing to worry about is tyres. Braking just as we hit the grass, and we've closed up a lot onto Alex here. And as soon as I closed up to Alex, I knew immediately that he was not on softs. That he had to have been on either mediums or on the hard tyres. So I wanted to immediately overtake him. And as you can see, I've got an inside line on him here, and although the RCZ is quicker, we've broken a bit later than him, and we have more grip with the soft tyres, so we're able to make that pass quite easy, to be honest with you. And that was kind of crucial. We needed to make sure we got that move done early, because we don't want to be held up by any hard running cars, because they will just slow us down and really hamper us in our quest to build a gap. As you can see, went a bit deep there, but going on to the start of lap 2 now, just through the SNRSs, we've closed right up to the back of Kevin here, and we're going to want to make sure that we can make a clean move and hopefully get into the lead. The grip levels seem for Kevin to be a bit iffy, so I'm not sure if that's the Honda NSX or if that is him on medium tyres. It's definitely on hards, because we've built up a 3.2 second gap to guys behind, so it's definitely not on hards, but it could be on mediums. We've gone down the inside here, and that's an absolutely horrible move. Forgetting to brake basically at that point. So we're gonna have to retry that move again. Back end, loving to step out as always, going into this long right hand here, really slow. You've got to make sure that you don't put the power on too early. Looks like Kevin did put the power on too early, and we might be able to get a run on him. I'll run on him here into the final corner. We've gone down the inside of him, and he has just moved over and completely hit us. And at that point, I backed out the move because I did not want to get spun around. So that gave me the full lights out to go ahead and be a bit more forceful with my moves with this guy, because I could just tell that he wasn't going to make it easy for me to pass him. So in order for me to pass him, I'm going to have to be a bit more forceful. And as you can see with the second lap, we've gone quicker, 33.9, and we definitely should be going quicker than that, but I think getting held up by Kevin here has really slowed us down. Through the center S's, we've definitely got a better run than Kevin here. We're going to want to probably make a move up into, not this double left, but probably the long right-hander, 3 tenths, even 3 tenths quicker. He's not taking this first left very well at all. We've got a nice drive out of this double left-hander here, and we're getting right up his slipstream. We're going to pull to the inside. He's left it open for us. He's tried to move across late, but I've got myself in there, and considering he moved across from me, I think that's pretty fair. I think if he'd let me through the first time, we wouldn't be in this situation, but here we are. And I knew I had to make the move at some point because I had the soft tyres. I knew I was faster than him. The earlier I made the move, the better it was for me. As you can see, we've gone back to Alex P here, so he started in second with the hard, so he's probably someone who's going to catch us maybe later in the race, but as you can see, he went very wide there and the double left-hander, getting overtaken now by 2 more cars, and to make matters worse, he's got a 0.5 second penalty. So this is not exactly what you want as a hard-running tyre car. You don't want to be getting penalties, you don't want to be making mistakes, you want to be having a clean race, but as you can see, he's going around this long left-hander here, and as he gets the power down, it spins out from underneath him, and he's lost any sort of momentum that he had and put himself back into the back of the pack. It's going to be an absolute struggle for him from there to be able to make up any sort of time, and yeah. Anyway, I'm going to let you go on and watch this lap. It's the fastest. Actually, I'm going to talk you through it. I won't let you watch. I'll talk you through this one. So go through the centre rest there, cut it quite nicely. This is the fastest lap of this first stint, and you're hitting about 160 miles per hour, almost 150. Braking in the tarmac on the right that appears just after the 100-metre board, hitting that apex lovely, trying to extend the exit as much as you can without exceeding track limits. And now we're going to accelerate up the hill here. Looking behind, we're about 3.5 seconds ahead of Kevin. And I've decided to cut this lap out. I don't know why. What was that for? Oh yeah, the middle section wasn't too interesting. It was all about hitting apexes. As you can see, we've got a bit quicker there in that sector, 20 hundredths up. And very nice final corner. It really has put us up to get out to the line quite quickly. As you can see, we're at 6.3 seconds ahead of the check behind us, and he's also on softs. And this is a 32.3, so a very nice lap on lap 5 for us. But as you can see, we're gone on to lap 7 here. Nothing much happened apart from this, where it gave us purple, but we're plus 0.9 above the delta. So with it being purple, I thought, oh my days, this is going to be a great lap, because I didn't see there was plus at the time, and then I made that mistake at the final corner, so I was like, oh okay, maybe I've lost a bit of time. And then when we cross the line here, you'll see that we are actually 1.3 seconds off, and I'm thinking, have I just dropped 2 seconds on the on that lap? So I was thinking, are the tyres going off? But as you can see in the top left, the gap is actually extending more over the past couple of laps, so that ruled that theory out. As you can see, the tyres really starting to give going around this corner, and now I'm starting to think, do I want to come in this lap? Do I want to bite the bullet, go in, because we're almost at the halfway stage here. We've gone about 9 tenths slower than our fastest lap. I mean, we're still kind of keeping the gap to the cars behind, but that corner with the back end was stepping out like no tomorrow. He's actually got below 9 seconds, but it's gone up to 9.8 now. As we're coming into the final corner here, 2.2 seconds up on, like, above the delta, and back end stepping out of no tomorrow. And at this point, I knew I had to come in. The back end was being so slippery, and I was starting to lose more and more control of the car. And I think at this point, it was worth me coming in to get new tyres. I was going to have less fuel for the rest of the race, so the tyre wear should be not as bad as it was in the first stint. So it's going to be about a 30-second pit stop here. We get the changing onto the soft tyres. Lovely, well done from the boys. A nice 4.1 second stop. And as we come out of the pits, we're actually in P4, which is only 4.7 seconds off the leader. So this has actually worked out really well. I have no idea where Kevin has got to. I don't know if he's pitted. I don't think he did. All I knew was that the Czech Republic behind me pitted for medium tyres. But apart from that, I didn't know where Kevin had gone. And actually, I forgot to look for that through the replays. So anyway, we're on around that now. The Ferrari ahead of us. Definitely on hards, kind of been, or no, softs. He's definitely on softs. You can see the back end stepping out a lot going through that corner, and through this corner he's just gone very wide. So we nipped down his inside, we've overtaken him, and someone is spun around there, and we'll have a look at that in a second. But you can see this Ferrari spun it round. I thought I was going to get a penalty for that. I was so confused with what was going on, and I was so confused of what was going on that I just completely forgot to look into my radar and look at that RCZ that had come up my inside, but thankfully no penalty, and we can carry on our way with that. But I think we're going to have a little look back at what happened with that car in front of us that just was pointing the opposite direction. So you got the Austrian here who gets a bit wide on the grass and almost collects the German with him, but fully sends his car around, and it's definitely not something you want to, when you're in the lead. You don't want to be spinning around and facing the opposite direction. But as you can see from Fluey's point of view here, the Austrian coming across, almost colliding with his back end. That was very close. If he'd collected him there, it would not have been ended well for the German. But as we go on to lap 11, we're 4.2 seconds behind, and I'm going to let you listen to the rest of this lap. And there we have it. That is the fastest lap that we've done that we'll do this whole race. 32.1. It's very strong, very quick lap to be honest on these soft tyres, and with heavier fuel as well. It's quite nice. I was quite happy with that. That hit most of the apexes. There were a couple of mistakes in there, but apart from that, I was quite confident. But we'll come up to the back of the German. I'm going to say Fluey, but I'm not 100% sure. And the McLaren in front of us is very quick in the straight line, so that is the very much its upper hand compared to us. We're probably a bit more stable and a bit more quicker, like initially, but straight line speed, this McLaren trumps us for that one. As you can see, taking a nice, going down the inside into the final corner, and it gives us the space, but he's able to probably get a nicer exit than us, taking that wider line through the final corner. And at this point I know that he's about 3 tenths behind, and I'm looking back, he's flashing his lights trying to put me off as much as he can, and as you can see he's coming up right up our chuff here, coming over the crest at the start of the lap, goes to move down the inside. I give him the space, and what's happening, he's got the inside, hit that apex, I've hit this apex, and my back end steps out, and we're side by side going through the third corner. Slight touch as we're going around, so I drop into behind him, right into his slipstream here. Proper getting into him, so it's going to be close. Are we going to make a move down the inside? No, we break a bit earlier, and then looks like, oh, we've got the underneath him, and the McLaren's given us space on the second of the left-handers there. We're side by side going up the hill, and I try and look behind to see if we're ahead of him, and as we're going up to the 6th corner here, I move across just to cover the inside, and very, very good driving, very strong, competitive driving between us and the German here. And that was actually a really rewarding move, and I was actually very happy on the stream. I was very happy with how he performed with that. But anyway, nothing much else happened for the rest of the race, to be honest with you. And it was actually quite a simple drive, and as long as nothing outrageous happens on this last lap, it should be a good as gold for us. I the gap behind us is about 20 seconds at this point. 5 seconds, sorry, not 20 seconds. 5 seconds at this point. But as long as nothing outrageous happens, coming around up to this final corner here, we should be okay. Oh wait, what's that ahead of us? Oh no, oh no.
Is that Glock? Is that Glock going slowly?
It is,
that's
it's Glock! Onto the touch! Verstappen is out of the race and that's a big crash!
Well, there we have it, guys. A race win around Interlagos. Please like and subscribe and turn notification bells on to be notified for when I next upload. But thank you so much, guys. Check my socials in the description. But I will see you all later.